The Buffalo Bills have already extended Josh Allen for the long haul. They are completely committed to the fact that they can win a Super Bowl with him under center, but for the longest time, this team has just been one player, one play, or one break away from getting to the promised land. But it just hasn't happened yet, and that is why in this upcoming draft, the Bills front office has to take the right guys. It is 100% a must, and in this video, I want to talk about some of the players that I think would be a great fit and could be available. But before I get into everything, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so even with Joey Bosa heading over to Buffalo, most mock drafts still do have defensive line as the top priority for the Bills. Well, more specifically defensive tackle, but I see a case for corner being a big need as well, because when you look throughout the AFC, there are some elite receiving units. There's Chase and Higgins, there's Hill and Waddle, there's Rice and Worthy, really just endless talent, and you can't win a lot of games, especially in the playoffs, if you don't have elite coverage. But having both picks 56 and 62 in the second round changes the strategy a lot, because there may be a position you want to cover, but then an insane steal on your board is right there at 30. You can take that player banking on the fact that a quality guy at the other position of need will be there with either of those late second round picks. Like if Kenneth Grant is there at 30, which I think there is a big chance that won't be the case because the dude is a beast, then you have to throw every idea away and take him. He's 6'4" and 331 pounds, an absolute unit with exceptional size, quick feet, violent hands, positional flexibility, and a relentless motor. Many of the pro analysts say that he moves with uncommon fluidity for his size, he excels at chasing down plays and disrupting offenses early, and his athleticism and effort aligns with Buffalo's high energy culture. And being that he's 331 pounds, he's a space eater that really could complement Ed Oliver. It's kind of reminiscent of pass pairings like Star Lotulelei, and sorry guys, I probably just pronounced Latulelei wrong right there. I probably did it again. I am terrible with those kind of names. Let me know if I got it right or wrong in the comments below. It's just like Louisville, man. I can't get those names right. But anyways, now for a fallback, if Grant is gone, I like Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. He's not as big at under 300 pounds, but he had 6.5 sacks in college last year. He was a 2024 consensus All-American. He has a powerful frame, strong legs and hands, an excellent bend to shed blocks, and a high motor. He's also long-armed, so he could be a solid option if Grant is gone, but even outside of Grant, he is just a great player. Next up, let's talk about Derek Harmon, who played for Oregon but formerly was at Michigan State. He's 6'5" and a full 310 pounds. He had 5 sacks last season. He was a 2024 second team AP All-American, and he's a run-stopping specialist with great hands, size, and strength to clog lanes. He ran a 4.95 40-yard dash at the combine, showcasing some agility for being 310 pounds, and he features a one-arm stab and rip move. And I think he would be a great fit for the Bills because his physicality and Big Ten experience with 3 years at Michigan State and 1 at Oregon makes him a natural run stopper, which would address Buffalo's 2024 struggles. His pass rush technique is superior to Nolan's, offering versatility inside or on the edge. Basically, the difference between Harmon and Grant is that he is just a little less unpolished and more raw, but the ceiling is certainly there. But that is the big difference between a first and a second round pick. Alright, now moving on to defensive back, everyone has been talking about Nick Emmanwori from South Carolina. He's a 6'3", 227-pound safety. He had 71 tackles and 2 interceptions for the Gamecocks last year, and he has elite coverage skills, ball hawking instincts, and versatility. And he actually may be available at 30 because we could see a draft where all the DTs go early based on past trends of the draft. And I mean, if the Bills feel like this guy is best available, then they have to take him. On average, 2 to 3 safeties go in the first round, so to name another one that could be a good fit, Trey Amos out of Ole Miss has been gaining a lot of buzz. He's not the biggest guy you'll see on the field at 6'1" and under 200 pounds, but he puts up numbers. He had 3 interceptions last season, and he plays pretty physical with strong cover skills. He would bolster a secondary with Rasul Douglas aging and Christian Benford in his 3rd year. So I see this as a value pick if it comes down to it. Another guy to potentially look at is Andrew Makuba, also a safety out of Texas. Makuba showcased outstanding instincts and coverage in 2024, posting a 25% forced incompletion rate. He allowed just 11 receptions on 24 targets while recording 6 interceptions and surrendering only 77 yards all season. Now moving on to the second round, I still think the Bills will stick with defense with both selections. I really like Omar Norman Lott. He amassed 89 tackles, 17 tackles for a loss, and 13.5 sacks with his most productive stretch at Tennessee, yielding 44 tackles, 10 tackles for a loss, and 9.5 sacks across 23 games, including a standout season last year with 4 sacks and a fumble recovery, and physically, he stands between 6'2" and 6'3", and weighs about 295 to 315 pounds. He kind of ranges back and forth, and he has long arms with big hands, and a 79 3/4 wingspan, projecting a 5.05 40-yard dash that really underscores his athleticism for his size. He received a 2025 Reese's Senior Bowl invitation, and he will enter the NFL as a 23-year-old rookie, bringing a blend of explosiveness and experience tempered by developmental needs. He would be a perfect guy to get at 56 or even better 62. And then to make sure the Bills get a corner if they don't pick at 30, I like Darian Porter out of Iowa State. His strengths lie in his exceptional physical tools and bargaining coverage skills, particularly in zone schemes like Cover 3, where his length and instincts shine. His elite speed allows him to stick with vertical routes and recover when beaten, while his receiver background fuels top-notch ball skills, evident in his ability to high-point passes and disrupt at the catch point. And in press man coverage, he mirrors releases patiently, using his long stride to carry receivers downfield, and his twitchy bursts helps him close on short routes or undercut throws in zone. Now moving down all the way to the 4th round, I like Ashton Gelati out of Louisville. He showed steady improvement as a pass rusher, increasing his win rate from an impressive 18.5% in 2023 to 21.5% in 2024. Over his final 2 seasons at Louisville, he racked up 15 sacks and 131 total pressures. And then with their other 4th round pick way later at 130, this is where I think the Bills could try to get a high upside weapon that could potentially help the offense on a few plays throughout the season, but mainly in the future. Kyle Williams from Washington State was a tough assignment for defenders in 2024, breaking 20 tackles and gaining 389 of his 1,204 receiving yards after first contact. So yeah, that's kind of my scouting report right now. Obviously, it's impossible to predict what's going to happen. You never know how other teams are going to draft and how the thing ebbs and flows, but those are some of the players I like right now. But let me know in the comments below who I missed and who you think the Bills should draft. I think the Bills have a solid roster right now. I really like the backfield led by Cook. I think there's a lot of young talent at receiver, but when push comes to shove, the Bills just have not had the defense to stop Mahomes, and that is why I think they should be aggressive in the draft to try to do whatever they can to stop him. That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And please let me know what you'd like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.